At least about 90 political parties have been registered or thereabout, and more are still going to be registered.
Good. Of course, you recall how APC came to be. It came from breakaways from several. That is possible. It is also possible that Nigeria will unfortunately have no choice between the opposition party and the ruling party. Whatever the case, like I said before, all of these political conflicts, political engineering and all that, how does the life of the ordinary Nigerian improve? That is the basic. I'm disappointed at what Mr. Shiu was saying. We won election here, one election there, and then what? I mean, like I said before, all achievements will be measured by human development and human happiness. As long as we remain in this one step forward, so many steps backwards, and somebody's talking about winning all elections, it doesn't make any sense to anybody.
Mr. Sheikh, can we throw that question back to you? How has, as he said, how has the life of the average Nigerian been changed, and what has been different about the way we live our lives with all the elections and all the successes that the APC has recorded so far? You heard him talking about that. What do you think?
Well, when we came in 2015, it was debatable whether we had a country or we didn't have one, because we were on the verge of losing it. You know, Boko Haram had a territory carved out of this country. They had an Islamic Republic with a flag, and there was a system of taxation. And all of that nonsense has now been smashed. So how has the life of the ordinary person changed? Yeah, perhaps at the elite level, people who are, you know, products of a rentier economy, there have been huge losses because it's no longer business as usual. But at the masses level, look at what is happening with agriculture. More than 12 million Nigerians into farming, and more are still coming. This country's rice import, we used $5 million US every day to import rice. 96 of that bill is off now. And soon, government will ban importation of rice in the country. So this is, in fact, the real independence, because a country that cannot feed herself cannot be said to be independent. So look at all of the happening, that is the things that are happening. Kebbi, Ebonyi, all of these rice-producing states. A lot of millionaires, new people becoming millionaires and acquiring fortunes, and all of the pilgrimages and the second wife, the third wife, and the fourth wife.
Are you also taking into account the amount of lives? Mr. Shiu, are you also taking into account the amount of lives that have been lost to herdsmen and farmers' clashes within this same period you're talking about?
Within agriculture.
In the area of agriculture?
Yeah, The thing about that is that I'm happy that there is a calming down now, except for the recent incidents, one in Plateau and another in southern Kaduna. And I think that the country is coming to terms. We're coming to grips with that problem. It's been solved. There may not be perfection. Benue, look at what they have done. The law and all of that, and Taraba is coming. It may not be perfect. But the thing is that people are doing something to stop the senseless killings, and they deserve to be given a chance. And it is working.
Mr. Shiu, let's just step back a little bit and go back to the report we started with when we came into this segment. We talked about the president returning from 49 days away, where he went to get treatment. He resumed work, and I mean, Nigerians heard the president could not resume work in his office owing to rat infestation. What's the situation with that now?
Well, I don't want to be quoted as saying that rats had chased the president out of his office. The office is now 100%. It's okay, and he uses it. And the president is back in good health, and he has strength and he has energy, and he's carrying on with the job.
And let me even take you up on some of the point. As the president is well now, and you say he's been carrying out his job, and we see that he's doing that as well. In the last couple of days, on Friday precisely, the president approved the constitution of governing boards of agencies and parastatals. We've seen 209 board chairmen, 1,258 board members in one fell swoop. I don't know, looking at the timing that this is happening, seeing as there has been a lot of criticism of the government being slow to make certain appointments. So could you throw more light on that for us?
Well, I think two things. One is that if you see the way the president is going, I think that the president was focused on 1, 2, 3 things. And he campaigned strongly on the issue of fighting terrorism, fighting corruption, and the restructuring of the economy. I think that at the time he came, the focus essentially was on pushing back, Boko Haram. And suddenly then, the president was also challenged from the Delta, because all of the things that had been overcome, pipeline vandalism and sabotage of economic activity, they resumed from where we don't know. The president had to also push that back, and that is calm now. And you can see that oil output is up, and everybody is happy. The economy is out of recession. And the thing about fighting corruption, so it took some time, but as we said in our explanation, there was a process.
I think, Mr. Sure, I think what we're talking about is, sorry to cut off there, but what we're talking about is the pace of government and the slow pace at which things seem to be moving. I think that's along the lines that we would like you to address.
Well, the president himself likes to, he's a man who deprecates himself a lot of the times. And he likes to talk about the fact that when he came as a military head of state, he was brash and ruthless. Yes, he got to do things in a much faster way. But I think that given age and experience and all of that, the president would obviously do things differently. However, the thing is that, get it right. What do we want to do? For instance, looking at the economy. Do we want to grow the economy, get it out of recession, and eliminate waste? I think that is being achieved. Issues of corruption, we're pushing that back. And terrorism. So the point is, are we getting the results that we want? Yes, we are. And I think that should keep our citizens satisfied.
Okay, Mr. we will take a moment, and when we come back, we'll be looking at other issues around the political space. The election calendar for 2019 is out. Prof would like to weigh in on the issue of the python dance, crocodile dance across the country, the legal side of it, how much of it has affected the Nigerian people, and then the historical implications of all that's going on in the political space.
As we move into a new year.
As we move into a new year. We'll do that when we come back from this break.